We watched the saints burn. We watched the voodoo spirits burn tonight. This is just the beginning. Watch them burn.
The conjure man. He's over going to one of his botanicas. We're in Camden. So what we got going on today, Ka?
A friend of mine has a problem with his spirit, and he called me to mediate the problem out. He's in the Haitian Voodoo tradition, and he's being threatened and harassed by a very dark spirit named Ezili Dantor. This spirit is a petrol. The Haitians usually suggest that the petrol's nature is hot, is the word they use. But a more accurate description would be malicious, evil, and dangerous. And my man called me because he knows that I know the spirit in question, and he knows that I have a heightened sense of clairvoyance and clairaudience. So it's easy for me to communicate with spirits. So he figured that, I would come by and let the spirit partially possess me, and basically I have the conversation where I piece it up between them. That's what he wants me to do anyway.
So how do you plan to mediate the situation?
The spirit threatened him and his child. So I'm gonna kill the voodoo bitch.
And how do you plan to kill a spirit goddess?
The first step, anything can be killed. Human, spirit, fairy, god, goddess, whatever. Anything that's alive can be killed. The first step for him would be to kill the copy of the spirit connected to his altar. Spirits, even spirits that aren't much higher than we are, they have the power to send copies of themselves to the people that worship them or the people who deal with them. You notice there are celebrations, ceremonies for spirits on certain days connected to certain gods or goddesses. And there'll be thousands of ceremonies all around different parts of the world for a certain spirit, and that spirit will be able to show up at all these places, sometimes possess people and talk with the people and celebrate at the same time. There will be 1,000 celebrations at the same time, which shows that they have the power to send copies of themselves, to send pieces of their own consciousness into different places at different times. So, and when you build an altar for a spirit, for a god or goddess, and that god or goddess finds you worthy or accepts you in whatever way, it will give you a copy of itself. And it'll be hooked up to your altar, and your offerings is what's going to feed that copy. And that's what makes it stronger when you feed it different things. But it's your own copy. The memories and experiences and power that copy receives from you are only a part of that copy. Your friends or your priest's altar in the copy of the spirit that it has It has nothing to do with whatever's going on with you and your own personal copy. And this is pervasive of all traditions. This is how it works. So, the first step to killing a spirit, at least when you're in a situation like my man, and you're dealing with the spirit, is by killing the copy. That is a tremendous blow to the spirit by itself. All the energy, all the knowledge and information that copy picked up along the way is destroyed along with that copy. And it's very, it's a unusual strike that a human would make against it to kill its copy. But you can do it. You can do it. And that's what I'm going to do today. You know, that's the first step to actually killing the spirit if a person were inclined to want to do so. You know, that's actually the first step. Other measures are taken after you kill the clone. Other steps are taken to do it. And it's not easy and it's timely. But you can do it, and it has been done. A person done it myself once.
So how do you know how to kill spirits?
I was entrusted with a lot of the highest levels known anyway of mystical information by a secret society from the Caribbean. In certain parts of the Caribbean they call it a Bazan. And this Bazan was very wealthy, very influential, and very powerful when it came to magic and mysticism. And the woman who trained me personally, she needed us to know how to kill a spirit. She needed us to know how to kill a human for that matter. Because that's what she wanted from me, her nephew, and another man that she was trying to create into her own little separate order outside of her secret society. But she wanted us to be, her muscle, and to be able to take care of her enemies in the spiritual world and her enemies in the physical world. So I was entrusted with that kind of information. The reason why she was able to have, her society was able to have that type of information was because they descend from an ancient secret society, such as the Leopard Society. The Leopard Society was a secret society from West Africa that existed before the slave trade, during and after it. And in West Africa, a lot of people don't understand what happened during that time around the slave trade. But in West Africa, there was a lot of stuff going on. It was much more sophisticated than people believe. And there were about a dozen powerful secret societies that existed. And about half of them were very wealthy, and had influence over even, entire, African kingdoms. One such was the Leopard Society. And from the Leopard Society, you get a lot of different secret societies that exist throughout the Caribbean and throughout South and Central America. The Leopard Society was specifically important because they were one of the ones that were so elaborate in their operations that they actually sent people on purpose. Some certain agents of theirs they sent on purpose into the slave trade to make it to the Western world to start their society over here and to fulfill whatever other operations that they had as it pertained to this part of the world. They were sent to the slave trade with the sole purpose of escaping it and starting the secret society over here. And they did a lot. It's no surprise that the most powerful revolutionary organizations that has come out of the Western, the black diaspora of the Western world was the Black Panthers. Because if you didn't know, a Black Panther is a leopard. Nonetheless, throughout Haiti, Cuba, a lot of places in the West, you have therianthropic secret societies. Therianthropic meaning shape-shifting, or secret societies who claim to have the power to shape-shift, and they have animal motifs. There is the Screeching Owl Society in Haiti, along with many other secret societies that are therianthropic in nature, and very very big on alchemy also. You know, like the Leopard Society, the Lion Men, other secret societies of Africa that are therianthropic. They also are said to possess different alchemical formulas, different potions that give them great strength, give them great agility, and give them great psychic ability. So these were heavy secret societies that we had and that existed in Africa, and the oldest of them operate in the world today, in the Western world today, in different forms, but all connected. And the lady who taught me was connected to one such group that descends from old, ancient African secret societies of mysticism and of occult power. That's how I know how to kill a spirit, along with a lot of other very colorful things that I learned along the way, rare things that I learned that I'm willing to reveal.
But now at the ritual site where Ka the Conjure Man is going to show us how to kill a goddess. Ka, you sure you want to do this?
Yeah,
Man?
I mean, the spirit brought threatened my friend's family. And there's really only one way to deal with anybody. Whether it's a man or a god that opposes you, that threatens you, that wants to oppress you. And that's to find a way to get rid of them. I happen to know how to do it. Sun Tzu said, know thyself and know thy enemies. I know the voodoo spirits. I know them. Most people don't explain it the way it actually is. But I went through years of being trained by people that were in the heaviest levels of it. The voodoo spirits are actually, or the voodoo religion, the voodoo tradition, is actually comprised of 4 components. One is African voodoo. That's the original voodoo, African voodoo. That's from the Kingdom of Dahomey, also called Benin. That's a relatively recent African religion too. Maybe a couple centuries old, 3 or 4 centuries old. They're the most known aspect of Haitian voodoo, but they're not the only part, you know. And it's different because in African voodoo, it was a goddess who was the leader of it, Nana Baluku, and the snake god that is the leader of Haitian voodoo was basically a messenger in that tradition. But they're one of the main components of it. Another aspect of it is the Zimi. The Zimi are the Native American spirits that was already on the island of Hispaniola when they got there. They're an entire pantheon, and they're one of the many that were in the Caribbean around the time of the Africans arriving over there. They're a big part. Like the god Zaka, the Haitian voodoo god Zaka. He's not from Africa. He is a Zimi. He has nothing to do with Africa. Our people, though, the seers, they do say that the Zimi and the Loa are connected, are related distantly. Nevertheless, they're 2 completely different pantheons. But in Haitian voodoo, they work together. You also have the Catholic saints and the other spirits of Catholicism that many Haitians, most Haitians actually, believe in and deal with. And they're very popular also in Haitian voodoo. The last aspect is the demonology aspect, the demonolatry aspect, as Lucifer, Beelzebub. Many of the infernals are a part of the pantheon. They were called upon during the Haitian Revolution, during the creation of voodoo itself, Haitian voodoo itself, and they play a part in it. I myself have met a couple of them during my years of dealing with Haitian voodoo, because certain things Haitian voodoo spirits aren't powerful enough to do. Certain levels of power, and in such cases, they will middleman a deal with one of the princes of hell. You know, so and I know this for a fact. Like demons are a part of the pantheon, and they're basically who comprise the Haitian voodoo spirits. The ones that are popular today, like the one in question, is either Dantor, Ogun, and the like. They're not they're not like ancient spirits who've been around as long as some of the more ancient pantheons. They're just basically a family from ancient Africa that were able to affect apotheosis. They were able to achieve immortality, and that's how they got to where they are. But they are not they're not ancient like a lot of the other gods that are worshipped throughout Africa. But I understand who they are. I understand what they are. I understand, the power level that they're on. I understand them. I wouldn't go up against them if I didn't understand, and if I didn't know that I could kill them. You know what I mean? This isn't the first time I'd have to do something like this for somebody. So it's no big deal. And also, it's also no worry for me because, you see, the higher ones, they view spirits and humans and groups of humans by their power levels when it comes to the occult groups. Like, for example, a occultist or an occult group who mastered level 1 candle spells. You know what I mean? Or level 1 alchemy work. You know what I mean? Like you could, with a spell, you could use a candle spell and affect somebody in some sense, whether that's making them leave you alone or making them fall in love with you. You know what I mean? That's like a level 1, spell. Or a level 1 alchemical work would be like, putting herbs and roots and things together and being able to like relieve headaches, things like that. Now, a level 2 spell or a level 2 sorcerer has mastered a slightly more advanced level than just a candle spell. For example, they would know, okay, I'm not just going to take a candle do. I'm going to use a candle with the right color, pink or red for love. And say if it's a love spell, I'm also going to add rose quartz to it. I'm also going to put come to me oil on it. I'm also going to do it on the day of Venus, the goddess of love. I'm also going to do it on the proper astrological hour, etc., etc., etc. You can do that. You can set it up that way, and you will increase the spell's power exponentially. And then you have, and same thing with alchemy. You know what I mean? You could also, figure out a more advanced alchemical formula. Then for curing headaches, menstrual cramps, you can find out how to hook something up to give you lucid dreams, or how to hook something up with straight natural materials to be able to unlock some of your psychic senses, things of that nature. And then there's the higher levels where, like, say you wanted to charge a spell and make it, let's say if we scale it from 1 to 10, if you want to make it like a level 9 or 10 spell, you would add as many correspondences as possible, and then you would also add the power of a goddess. If it's a love spell, say Aphrodite, you know what I mean, or whoever else that you might feel. And as long as all the correspondences are proper, as long as the goddess or love god that you're dealing with, looks kindly upon what you're trying to do, then that you're going to have an extremely powerful spell, and almost any uninitiated person will bend to your spell, if you do it the right way. But and I'm beyond all those levels. I know what to do. I would definitely be, if we were in a scale to gauge it, I'd definitely be of the higher levels. But that means nothing, because there's always levels beyond. Always levels beyond. Like for example, African American hoodoo tradition. If you watch the movie The Skeleton Key, you'll see one of the most powerful spells ever, conceptualized. That's immortality, what you see in that movie. You know what I mean? Metempsychosis. Being able to remove your spirit and put it into someone else. That's not easy. Not easy at all. And those are beyond what I would say level 10 spells. Far beyond what most people think is powerful. Far beyond it. So no, I'm good with it. I know how to handle the situation. This ain't my first rodeo. Oh, this is not my first rodeo.